Hey, so today I'm going to talk about something that is pulling us a lot away from happiness. It's also pulling a lot of us away from happiness. It's not good. Have you ever felt like your life is missing something, or you've spent a lot of time and attention on things that you don't have? Or perhaps you felt like you're not good enough in some way. I know that you have. We all have. It's human nature. And when we go into these thoughts, fear begins to creep in that we need to go out and get these things or do these things or be these things because we are missing it. And that, my friends, is a scarcity mindset. And it's not something that we can control because it's rooted in how our brain is wired. So a scarcity mindset essentially is our brain's focus on things that we lack or don't have. Way back when our evolutionary ancestors needed to focus on things they didn't have, like water, food, shelter, because they needed those things to survive. So it's only natural that their bodies developed this way of having a fear for things, for these unfulfilled needs, so then they could go out and fulfill them and, survive. So in current day, we kind of have a lot of our basic needs covered, but scarcity mindset's still there. And unfortunately, it has a lot of negative consequences. First, not surprisingly, scarcity mindset decreases our overall happiness. I mean, how can it not when our brains are making us think about things that we don't have rather than things that we do? Following up on that, scarcity mindset really lowers our self-esteem. By human nature, we are constantly comparing ourselves to others, but we're not saying, wow, look at how great we both are or what we both have. We're only going to see what we don't have or what we're missing out on. And those are the things that are going to make us feel worse about ourselves when we know confidence comes from those positive experiences and focusing on our strengths. Another downfall of scarcity mindset is it actually decreases our ability to think, which sounds crazy. But if you think about your brain as a bandwidth, as a pie chart, there's only so much space in it that you can use. Scarcity often takes up so much of that pie chart that there's not that much bandwidth left to do the things that you want or make the discoveries that you want. And on top of that, we need empty space in that bandwidth to do just that, be creative and come up with those insights about our own lives. Scarcity mindset not only fills the empty spaces, it overheats a lot of the other bandwidth as well. And finally, a scarcity mindset is going to decrease our healthy risk-taking, our patience, our determination, because it puts us in this state of urgency in the here and now. And we know that a lot of growth comes from big picture and zoomed out perspective. So I haven't scared you enough on what a scarcity mindset does in a negative way. Don't worry, there are ways to fight it. And while we can't completely erase it because it's involved in our human nature, we can learn to identify it and how to tackle it. So the first step that you've done just by watching this video is you've understand and learned more about what scarcity mindset is. That's huge because it allows you to do step 2, which is identifying where scarcity plays a role in your life. Scarcity, I guarantee, plays a role in your daily life, your weekly life, and your big picture life in general. And so starting to identify where it does, you can start to tackle and find ways to fight back. That is step 3. Coming up with mantras or things that you can say to interrupt the scarcity mindset brain and rewire it to focus on more positive things is going to be huge in your journey. It could be simple as saying, I don't have enough time. And that thought cycles and cycles, and learn to say, I do have enough time. Once you come up with a talking back to the scarcity mindset, it also can be helpful to come up with evidence. For the time example, don't just say, I have enough time. Show your brain that you do by listing out pockets of time or looking at a calendar. This evidence is what's going to fight the fear and allow you to reclaim some control over your thoughts. And finally, step 4, once you identify scarcity and you interrupt it, keep practicing how to shift your brain from what you don't have to what you do. Gratitude is one of the most powerful practices that we can do for happiness, and yet we so often don't do it. Scarcity doesn't like gratitude. Scarcity likes what we don't have. So by practicing gratitude, build in habits to shift your thinking, take inventory of what you do have, what you like about yourself, all of these positive qualities and attributes. That's what's going to push you in the direction towards more happiness and towards higher self-esteem. And from there, you're going to start learning how to really embrace your life, who you are, and appreciate all that you do have rather than focusing on what you don't. As always, journaling is going to help with this process, so I encourage you to look at the journaling prompts below, because by getting your pen to paper, you're going to be able to get out of your head and get out of this scarcity mindset trap and into the real world and into more of this abundance mindset.